I'm Tammy from Texas, and you're watching Realistic Fishing. Keep it realistic.
Welcome back to Realistic Fishing. I have a package here from iFish. I like using his BG1 jig heads. And I think he said he was going to send me some floats to try. So here we go. Here is a crappie float. Well, crappie and bluegill it looks like. From iFish Tackle. It comes in a plastic tube so it doesn't get damaged. .25 gram. And a pack of my favorite jig heads right here, BG1. Let's get this float on the line, and a BG1 jig head, and a Gulp Minnow, and see if we can get a bite. Alright, it feels like some rubber stoppers on there. Let's see if I can figure this out without instructions. We're going through this top eyelet right here. Got to be careful not to lose the little rubber stopper. I think the line goes through the rubber stopper now. And now the stopper goes back onto the stem of the float, the bottom piece here. And now we can adjust the depth. I like this so far. So far, so good. Let's tie on a jig head. Again, this is a 125 gram jig head with a 1.25 gram float. I think that's how you match them up. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just going on my own fishing intuition here as to how this rig is set up. I do not want to fish this around cover. I'm going to fish it in open water to the best of my ability. Alright, we got the jig head tied on. Now let's get a Gulp Minnow on here. Perfect. Let's see if we can catch something on the iFish float and jig head setup.
This is Aaron from Pennsylvania, and you're watching Realistic Fishing. Keep it realistic.
I'm seeing some logs out there. I'm also seeing some open areas. Let's try over here. What I'm going to do first is lower the float, which means fish shallower. Alright, cast it out there without any extra... Was that a bite, or did the float go under because of the weight of the jig? No, I think that was a bite. I don't know if you can see it out there, but just the orange part is sticking up above the water. I'm not sure what you call that part of the float. Oh, a couple little nibbles there. So I'm seeing some small fish peck at the Gulp Minnow. This float is going to be very sensitive because it's so thin. It's small and thin, which is good. You don't want a lot of resistance when a fish grabs it. And the visibility is pretty good. I can see it out there, about 25 feet away. Now I just need to find a fish to take it under. There we go. About 30 feet out there. Had a bite. These fish are all pretty small, I have a feeling, but this one took it under and we got him. First fish of the day right here. Long-eared sunfish. There we go. We got a long-eared sunfish on the iFish float and jig combo. Well, a fish that small took the float under. That shows how sensitive it is. Fish on. Oh, he came off. It was another small one. Bluegill or a sunfish. There we go. There we go, another fish on. Slightly larger bluegill. Took that float under, no problem.
Hey, I'm stand 2.
I'm stand 3.
And we're 2 stands fishing. You're watching Realistic Fishing.
Always keep it realistic.
Realistic, yeah!
So, what am I looking for when I'm trying out a float? I want it to cast. I don't want it to be so light and blobby that it catches a lot of wind and doesn't cast. This has a very thin profile. It's easy to cast. I also want it to be easy to see. And I can see that orange spike out there. So besides ease of casting and visibility, I want the fish to be able to pull it under easily. Some of those round bobbers, like I said, they catch a lot of air, but they also put up a lot of resistance when the fish is trying to pull it under. Come on. There we go, fish on. Another bluegill. Another 6-inch bluegill. Yeah, maybe 5.5. So I got a comment on the casting again. Casts fairly well. I'm using 6-pound test. If you were using 4 or 2, it would cast even better. Fish on. Feels like a good one. There we go, nice bluegill with a little bit of salad on his head. Nice. One of the better fish today. About 7 inches. So far, I'm not having any issues with the bobber sliding down or moving or the little rubber keeper coming off or anything. Stands up nicely. So far, so good. Now it's just up to me to find some bigger fish. Yeah, look at that. Something really small. You can even, got him. You can even see those tiny, light bites. Like this guy. Look at the fat little belly on that one. 5-inch fat belly.
I'm Catfish Terry, and you're watching Realistic Fishing. Keep it realistic.
Fish on. There we go, another bluegill. Easily caught from the bank. Anyone could be out here catching bluegill. You want to learn how to fish? You come out here and you fish for these. And you learn how to catch fish mid-air as they jump out of your hand. All right, let's see if we can get a few more. Got him. Oh, that feels a little bit better. Did you hear that drag sing for just a couple of clicks? Nice. Nice bluegill. Great color on this one. Good looking fish. Might be the biggest bluegill today, around 7 inches. First impressions for the iFish float. I like it. It's easy to cast, it's easy to see, and I like how it pairs up with specific weights for the jig heads. And as you saw today, I was able to catch fish with it. Thanks for watching Realistic Fishing. Keep it realistic.